Haymon in boxing right now is the guy. In boxing in the United States, if you're not without Haymon, you will not be able to make it. And it's there's a lot of talented guys who are not without Haymon that will never get a shot, will never get an opportunity. It's either you're without Haymon and you get your road mapped out for you, and if you're good enough, you'll make it. Or you're not without Haymon and you can be as good as you want. You're not going anywhere because the doors just won't open for you, you know?
Al Haymon checks off of all of my events.
Al Haymon.
Thank you, Al Haymon. Al Haymon.
Give thanks to my manager, Al Haymon.
Oh, Al Haymon, the father figure.
If we removed Al Haymon's name, and I told you there's a guy from Cleveland who controls the sport of boxing, he's got all of the fighters, he controls all of the dates, and most people think that he's the worst thing to ever happen to the sport of boxing, you'd bring up Don King. It's Al Haymon. They're both from Cleveland, Ohio. Al Haymon is the Bob Arum kind of Don King because he went to a prestigious business school, but he has over 100 fighters on his roster. And all of them, of the 100, 99 of them are very relevant fighters. He is the most powerful person in the sport of boxing.
And good action in the main event.
Yeah, the boxing crowd is a cynical bunch. And Roy mentioned the name of the character in this story tonight. I think you heard both fighters mention it, victorious fighters. And that's Al Haymon. Al Haymon's a manager, an advisor, a power broker in boxing, in case you don't know who he is. And there's a backlash in boxing, I think, at times against Al Haymon fighters because he seems to wield influence out of proportion with others in boxing. He's able to get one of his fighters an 8-round fight, practically unheard of, on HBO against an overmatched opponent, a fight usually that wouldn't be seen on HBO.
I just think business, politics, Al Haymon in boxing right now is the guy. Unless you're with him, you can't really make any money. I mean, anybody in the new generation, I hate to say it, and it's kind of messed up, but anybody in the new generation in boxing in the United States, if you're not without Haymon, you will not be able to make it. And it's a shame, it really is, because there's a lot of talented guys who are not without Haymon that will never get a shot, will never get an opportunity. The only reason I'm around is because I'm from an older generation, so I made my name before Al got too big, but it's to the point now where it's either you're without Haymon and you get your road mapped out for you, and if you're good enough, you'll make it, or you're not without Haymon and you can be as good as you want. You're not going anywhere because the doors just won't open for you, And it really is a shame, but there's politics in every business, but I said years ago after that Juan Diaz fight, boxing's full of shit, and it really is.
Canelo isn't with Al Haymon.
He's not.
But as talented as he is, do you think he would be as famous if he didn't have red hair?
I don't know. I don't know. I think he's one of those guys that goes beyond, and he's also foreign. So when you come with foreign hype, a lot of times you do get your opportunities. Like Gennady Golovkin is foreign. He's creating some hype. Amir Khan came here. He's foreign. There's guys that are foreign that could get a little bit more hype regardless because they don't have to deal with the Al Haymon situation. They can gain that notoriety and hype in their country, and then they can come here with a big name, In the United States, you have to make your name in the United States. You have to make your name where you're from. So in the United States, you'll never get a chance to make your name unless you're with Al Haymon, if you're in this generation, Like I said, I'll reiterate what I said before. I'm lucky I'm from a generation before this, so that I was able to make my name, because if I was trying to come up now, nobody would ever hear of me.
Al Haymon checks off of all of my events.
Al Haymon. I want to thank Al Haymon.
Al Haymon.
Al Haymon checks off of all of my events.
Al Haymon. You'll never get it.
Thanks to my manager, Al Haymon.
Al Haymon, like a father figure.
Al Haymon checks off of all of my events. I like all the profit, man. I hardly do percents.